If great. Well, hi again and welcome if you're joining live. I love participation in the chat box. And if you're catching the recording, thanks so much for spending your time and just seeing this little webinar. And really what I'm aiming to do is, I have one here on the screen, like I got an MBA. I've learned all things business like over the last 5+ years. And I want to give you just like a broad overview of all of the things so that you don't have to dive in and do like the same amount of research that I've had to do and trial and error and just give you like an honest sit down, like let's chat. Here's what's working and here's what hasn't worked for me. Okay. And so we're gonna cover all the things, but first let's talk about like the problems. And I actually posted this. If you came from Facebook, you might have seen this. I dropped it on my original post there earlier. But here are like the top 3 problems that I hear when I'm talking about like online income. Number one problem that I see is like people are just like overwhelmed. It's analysis paralysis. And they're like, everybody's talking and their reels are on TikTok about like they're making all this money, but like, how do I know that they're legit? Because it feels like a scam, like it feels fake. And I don't have time to, sit down and figure that out and do the research. The second problem, which I think like problems 2 and 3, even just from you guys like voting in my social media on like what you feel like your problem is, go ahead and like drop in the chat actually. I would love to see what you feel like, which one of these you relate with. Second problem is like I can't afford it to, get started, or I can't afford to wait to collect the payment on whatever it is that I'm starting. And then the third problem, I think like this is really where people get stuck, is like, I don't have a big following. I am not a content creator. I don't know how to do like all the social media stuff. You make it look so easy, or I don't want to annoy my friends and family, or I've tried whatever it is in the past and it just did not work for me. Um, and so like these are the common things that I hear all the time, right? So what is the solution to this? The solution is still online income. But I want to like kind of lay some groundwork for you and a couple of things. Like number one, everything I'm about to share, you're about to see like a lot of receipts, like a lot of screen grabs from what I'm making on these different platforms. And I'm showing you this to give you like a real behind the scenes of my experiences and what is possible. And in giving this disclosure, I feel like I need to say like, yes, I have Instagram. I've got about 5,000 followers on Instagram, 71,000 followers Facebook, and then across like my 2 TikTok platforms, I think I've got about 17,000 followers right now. Okay. So that is well above average. And you have to understand, like, I've been building these platforms for years. So I'm going to show you like where I am right now and just being like raw transparency, because I feel like income transparency is like not a thing in the online income world right now. And I don't know why, because I'm all about like, hey, I got in through a window, let me open the door for you, right? The other thing that I need to establish is like, this is not going to be an exhaustive list. Yes, it's like the most popular things that you'll see if you do like a little search, but it's not going to be everything. There are always going to be like multiple and new, like upcoming ways of making money. Like, for instance, TikTok Shop is something like newer that you can make money on that wasn't around when I got started in the online income world, years ago. So there's always like new things that you can learn, dabble in. So this isn't an exhaustive. And then the last thing that I just want to like touch on before I really dive in is number one, like I really believe in authenticity and adding value, and then consistency and doing the right actions. Because the thing is if you're trying to make money in the online space and you are trying to be authentic and you are trying to add value, but you're not doing the right steps, you're never going to make money. And so this is what I kind of want to show you is like, how to take the steps. And honestly, going viral is not a good strategy if you're really trying to treat this like a business. So I just want to kind of lay all of this out for you guys. and feel free to ask like questions in the chat. I try and keep an eye on it while I'm talking, and I'll like read them out loud if I do answer them so that anyone watching the recording will know like what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead and get going, shall we? So what we're going to look at, all of the stuff, right? So we're going to talk about digital marketing, like to know it, Etsy, Shopify, Meta/Facebook, YouTube, MLMs, UGC, affiliate partnerships, and social retail. So we got a lot of ground to cover. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right. Number one, when we're looking at all of this objectively, going back to like those problems that I shared with you guys earlier, one of them was like, I don't have time, or I need stuff that pays big, or, you know, whatever. So here are the top 3 things that I personally am looking for when it comes to like making money online. Number 1 is you got to think about active income versus passive income versus active passive. Let me explain that to you guys really quick, because I feel like everybody throws like the passive income term around and they're not actually talking about a truly passive income. So active is when you are exchanging your hours for dollars, like clock in 9 to 5, that's an active income play. UGC, which we'll get to later, is an active income play. Like if you're not creating, you're not getting paid. A passive income play is like you can put money into it. Like you don't even necessarily have to put time into it, and it's going to start making you money, right? This is most people's like investments. It could be a real estate portfolio. It could be a number of things. But then we have the in between, because that kind of touches like the 2 different like income brackets, right? You have people that are working their lives away, and then like people that are making their money work for them. The in between is going to be like an active passive. And this is really where wealth starts to get built, is you have to put in some time on the front end. You have to do the work, like you have to learn the things, develop the skills, you know, relationship equity, all the stuff. But it can become passive. Like it starts to snowball, and over time you have to touch it less and less, or maybe you put in a one-time effort on the front end, and then on the back end it'll just keep paying you. So you're not constantly exchanging your hours for dollars. Does that make sense to everybody? So that's the difference between the 3. So I'm considering that. What amount of time and resources like do I need to get started in this, to perpetuate it, to scale it? Is it going to scale for me? Another thing that I'm looking at is like, are my customers going to be able, and are they going to want to come back and purchase from me again? Because this ties into like how much I can get paid. Again, the scalability of it. And then 3, like something that I'm always looking around trying to notice is, who is winning in this? Like, who is it that you see who's having wild success? Is it someone that you admire, that you like, know, and trust? Is it someone that you would take advice from? Is it someone whose character like you would want to be like, to implement? Is it something that you could get really excited about? Like, if you're not excited about it, I'm sorry, you shouldn't do that. you know? And so those are all things that I think about as far as, you know, before I start. Okay, now, so getting into starting. Amazon influencer, let's talk about this. I feel like this is like one of the top things that people ask me. How to become an Amazon influencer. I put like steps on there. You can open up your Amazon app, do it. You have to apply. And basically to qualify, you need any number of like social media platforms. It can be one or all of the above, but you want to submit like your largest platform. And they don't really say how many followers that you have to have, but they prefer it be like 1,000 above. Okay. Once you're accepted and you can create an Amazon storefront, and everybody uses Amazon, right? So might as well. They'll pay you up to 10%. Now, they list that like in their fine print. It says up to 10%. And so the 10% is what stands out to most people. They're like, oh, great, 10% commission. No. Like you see my screen grab of just, you know, through yesterday. of what my earnings were in the last month. How many people did I send like to my Amazon storefront? 165 people. Like that's pretty good, right? They're seeing my stuff, they're getting engaged, and I made Amazon over $500. Great, excellent. This is like super passive for me. It's just, as people are asking for a link, how much should I actually get paid? You do the math, it's like 3% that I'm going to get paid from that. So this is like peanuts. And so my personal opinion on Amazon influencer, it can be good because like, I mean, if someone's asking you for a link, sure, like share your favorite things, like be authentic, even if it's not that much. It's a great way to have collections of stuff. So you can see like on my page, I have like all the holistic supplements that I talk about. I have books that I recommend. I recently did one on like the bathing suits that I have here for Florida. Like it's just like stuff that people want to know. Um, but I'm only going to earn commissions if they're purchasing specifically through my link. So if they save it to their cart for later and they don't actually purchase from there, sorry, like you're missing out. And if they come back to reorder, like unless again they're specifically going through my link, I'm not going to earn anything. Okay, so this is one of those things that is just like it's another funnel, and some people take like Amazon links and they put it in email blasts or on Pinterest or so this is a way of building a funnel, and a funnel is just a way to bring more people in to your link. So more people are seeing it, more people are clicking on it, hopefully more people are buying it. But that's really all I have to say about Amazon. It's kind of like, take it or leave it for me. Like to know it. Similar to Amazon, except for not. So like to know it has been around for basically as long as Instagram has been around. It used to be super exclusive. I don't know if it still is because I've had mine for a while, but you have to apply to be considered to have a profile. Your profiles have to be public. So if you're more of into keeping a private profile, this is not going to be for you. And they're looking to see, like I copy pasted this straight from their site. They're looking to see how engaged are your followers like on your content. And they're looking to see what are you posting about? Like, are you regularly sharing brands and stuff like that? That's what they want from you. Now, the pros is I love that they have a lot of commissions opportunities. Like pretty much any website you can think of most likely has a like to know partnership. So great, you can share anything that you want. And they have a tab specifically for high paying commissions. So if that's of interest to you and you want to make more than Amazon's like 3%, you could look at who's offering, 11 to 25% commissions. You can do this actively, like on your stories, creating content, stuff like that. Or you can do it passively and just pinning things on Pinterest, putting it in your emails, putting it on a blog site. So that's a great thing, but they have a 30 to 90-day window before paying out. And it varies company to company because of, say I had a like to know it link to Amazon, which you can do. Amazon has a return policy. So you have to wait until that return window is ended before they'll pay you your commissions. So you're going to be waiting a while. Okay. And then you're only going to earn when a purchase again is made through your direct link. I think we understand that. And then my last con I put on here is that most of these products that you're sharing from this platform are not going to be consumable, which means they don't get used up. So as cute as your outfit is, I have a limit to how many like new outfits I'm going to buy in a quarter or in a month. I have a limit to how much jewelry I will have. Like I'm not a jewelry gal. So like everybody's different. But if it's not going to be used up, like the chances of you having like return customers and stuff, it's like pretty slim. Okay. So again, this is just like, if I'm going to share, might as well make a couple bucks, but it's not a big income producer. I do have friends that can make, some income from this, but they're more of like the cute little like trendy influencers. And that is not me, y'all. Like I did my hair for the first time today since being on vacation to come on here with you guys. Like that's not my personality. So that just wouldn't be authentic for me to like put a ton of time into this. Okay. Next one up, we have affiliate programs. Now, I actually, again, did the screenshot just today for you guys so that you can see what affiliate partnerships look like for me. And I should have taken a screenshot of like the behind the scenes messaging. So affiliate programs, there's kind of three ways that you can go about it. Number one, if you have a lot of followers, sometimes they'll come to you and check your email, check your spam on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. A lot of them feel scammy. So like use your intuition, check out the brand. But actually one contacted me about 2 weeks ago and they said, hey, would you be interested in joining our affiliate program? And I was like, sorry, I don't promote stuff I've never tried. Like that's just my personal standard. And I said, so if you want to send me some product, like I'm happy to try it out and then I'll let you know. But that's kind of where I'm at. And so they actually did. And I tried it, obsessed with it. Okay, so if you saw me on my social media talking about my teeth whitening, like remineralizing powder yesterday, that's what this is. And I sent them how many people? 126 people visited this site in just like one day from me sharing my link, right? Which is great. And this shows you like the conversion rate. Only 5 people were ready to buy yesterday, even with a discount and everything. So how much commission is that giving me? 16 bucks, again, take it or leave it. And this is just like one option. Okay. The second way that you can become an affiliate partnership, if they don't reach out to you, you can actually reach out to them. And I have, a lot of people do this if you're really obsessed with a brand and people ask you about it all the time. I wanted to do this and I never actually did, but I have like a baby carrier that people were constantly asking about with my son. And so I could have like popped him an email. If you search Google, like whatever brand it is, affiliate, a lot of times they have a specific affiliate page that will pop up and you can send an email to them, just share why you want an affiliate code, whatever, I love your product, etc. And usually they'll give you a code. This is if you don't like have a like to know it or you just specifically want to work with this brand. And so you can do that, or like the last way is you can find them through third parties. So there are like third party sites that connect what would be considered like an influencer or a micro influencer like me. So not really an influencer, but not, under the line either. They connect people with brands and they will match you with like, oh, she would work out with this brand. So those are kind of the ways to go about it. They come to you, you go to them, or like connection platforms. Okay. The pros, you can get paid to talk about what you love, clearly. You can do this very actively, very passively. Some people you'll see like deals of the week or outfits of the week, stuff on their platforms. It's a lot of content creation with affiliate marketing, like a lot, because you have to promote it. And another pro is like you might get store credits or you might get like a discount on this product. Whether that's just for asking or whether it's you refer so many people and then you get a discount. The con to affiliate marketing, typically again, 30 to 90 days before payouts. Okay. Which is fine. If you have this stream that you start and it's coming in and you're constantly creating content and sharing, great. Like it's additional money that's coming in. But you're also only going to earn when a purchase is made through your direct link. And like a lot of times, they're only going to give you commission for the first purchase, not if they return. So like the teeth remineralizing powder, that's a consumable product, which I'm huge on. It's going to get used up. People are going to love it because it works. I love it. But I only get paid with this company like on the first order. So, that kind of is a bummer. But that's why it's important like you genuinely love the product if you're going to go the affiliate marketing route. And then you rarely get any sort of like bonuses. for helping them earn so much money off of your followers. And then the last con I would say would be like conversion rate, because if you're just like casually getting paid with affiliate marketing, um, I mean, even like 126 visits was great, but for 5 people to actually pull the trigger, and then like I'm not constantly talking about like teeth whitening powder. That is not my brand. It's just a random product that I happen to love. So like the odds of me really getting traction on this one product, that's pretty slim to none too. But again, with affiliate marketing stuff, you can put it in newsletters, like email blasts, all over the place. And you can build funnels to make it a bit more passive. But this is really more on like heavily active side, because it all depends on you, like your network, you sharing, you getting the word out, you getting your link out. No one's going to do it for you. So if you're like a content creator girly, go for it. Like that's pretty much affiliate marketing. Okay. Now, drop shipping. I will very briefly touch on this because Paul and I tried this actually, I think it was like back in the fall. And it was because if you know me, you know that I love like graphic design. I love putting cute little things together. And I was like, okay, so what I'll do is I'll take this design that I created on Canva and I will upload it to like Printify. And then from there, you can post these like, t-shirt links. So maybe on Printify, I put it on a t-shirt or a mug or like whatever I want to put it on. Then I can post a listing for that item on Etsy or on Shopify. And what happens is when someone finds it on these sites, they order. Printify fulfills my order, like actually prints it on the shirt for me and then sends it to the customer. So this is drop shipping in the sense like I came up with it, it's my intellectual property, but I'm using someone else to fulfill the customer orders for me. Like I'm not actively having to make this and send it out and all of that. Now, it is active passive because it creates, it's that one-time effort of setting up your shops, of creating the designs and posting it. Once it's posted, like it's there, people can find it. However, there is an Etsy shop setup fee if you choose to go the Etsy route. And I didn't know this actually until we were doing this. You have to pay 20 cents per item that you list. So like if you want to list a bunch of different designs and a bunch of different items, different colors and everything, 20 cents every single one, which is not a lot. But I mean, when you start listing like a lot of things, it starts adding up. And this is whether or not the item sells. So if it doesn't sell, you're not going to recoup it. It'll stay on Etsy for 4 months before they take it off, or they'll automatically like renew your listing and charge you another 20 cents. And when someone purchases, you'll be charged a transaction fee. Right now on Etsy, it's 6.5%. And then, you're responsible for shipping if you don't use like a drop shipping. So if you just want to like make something cute and crafty, list it on Etsy, same deal here. So you don't have to necessarily do drop shipping. But if you are going to do drop shipping, like I do know people who have made money here, but the key to drop shipping is this. You really have to do market research before you get into it. And you have to find like a niche, which is usually like really high demand and really low competition. So like you are the go-to person. So you don't want to create like the, I don't know, mom life, whatever t-shirt where there's a million other people making the same t-shirt, because that's a lot of competition and it's not really like a specific niche. But if you got very specific, then maybe, you'll get some traction. Or if you're an influencer, you're running like a campaign or a movement or something like that, yes, I could see this taking off. But for the average person just looking to get something going, even like across me and Paul's platforms, like us trying to do it together, I think we made like 1 or 2 sales. I mean, it was just wild. And so I was like, okay, this is way more work to get off the ground than I'm willing to do. So I was just kind of done with it. Next up, Meta. So I posted screenshots. I don't know how much you can see these. I'll get to those in a second. Um, there are multiple ways to monetize your content on Facebook. Now, this one I'm a fan of, setting up monetization. If you are going to be on social media anyways, like maybe you are doing affiliate marketing and you're going to make a post about it and you can make money from this post, right? Or maybe you're doing like multi-level marketing, which we'll get to in a second. Social retail, like you're doing different things where you're gonna be on Facebook anyways. Set it up, like go ahead and monetize content you're already making. And how you do this is you can have like ads. Now to qualify, like you do have to meet a certain number of like views and follower numbers. You can do branded content, just kind of like collaborations with different brands. That's going to be more higher visibility. You can get bonuses for hitting like certain views or new followers, or they do like different bonuses every so often. And then you can get like fan support, stars, gifts, subscriptions, people subscribing to your channel, all of that. Now, well, I already talked about the pro. The con is honestly to make any sort of good money, it's like going viral. So you see, I have like the most recent earning for Meta is like laughable. It's like $1 and some change. And that's, what they're gonna pay me. It's like $1.10. Cool. Thank you for that, Facebook. But I have had reels take off and made, I don't know if you can see that, like a little over $1,900, like from a 4-week period. So that's great income if you are going to have something get traction, but going viral is not a strategy. Like it's not a good thing to base income off of. So like let this just be a little happy surprise for you, unless you're going to be one of those people that post clickbait. And that's why they do it. It's because it will go viral and get traction and be on the loop over and over. And if you can just get people to click on like this stupid little whatever video that you have going on, then yeah, they're gonna eventually like start making money. Or if you can create so much value in your regular posts that it would make people want to subscribe to you. Now, that's a strategy. So you can do that. And you can also do that on Instagram. I did not include Instagram in this particular presentation because I don't monetize my Instagram. I have read, I cannot confirm this, but that it affects your algorithm. And the Instagram algorithm, in my opinion, is already the hardest one to crack, like across all social media, anyways. So that's just not one I'm willing to mess with. But Instagram, basically the same way, like you can create a subscription channel for your followers. You can monetize the reels, all of that. Okay. YouTube. So, the biggest pro to YouTube, and like out of all the different social media platforms, this is probably the most consistently profitable if you can get enough subscribers and views to be able to monetize. So that's the first key here, is you're gonna have to post a lot and get a lot of views and go without pay for a while because you have to get qualified for their payment program. Okay. So they have two different ways. You can either have 4,000 hours of like public views within the last year and 1,000 subscribers, or now they're trying to compete with TikTok. And so they have the YouTube shorts. And so you could go that route and, maybe re-upload reels or content that you've had or like make new ones for YouTube. And it's on there, but they need like 10 million views. That's a lot. And 1,000 subscribers if you're going to go that route. So that is the major con. Now, the pro on the flip side, like if you can get to that point, YouTube uses SEO. It's like search engine optimization. Okay. And they're gonna, like, people search for stuff on YouTube all of the time, like how to do whatever on your iPhone, how to do this. I mean, entertainment videos, they use it almost more than Google, has been the recent research. Okay. So if you can create value-packed content and just again, like upload, like I have friends who do stuff like this, they'll record it and put it up on YouTube, right? And they just consistently like throw value up there. You're building actually an archive of your stuff if you're trying to build a personal brand. So that's a great strategy to just have a place where people can go and like binge watch, because that is a content strategy, is to create bingeable content where people just want to keep consuming more of your stuff, and to grow that way. So that's YouTube in a nutshell. And you can see like it's going to be, projected earnings are pretty large, but this is over time. And this is if you continue to scale and grow. So the scalability is definitely there. It's just the getting it off the ground with YouTube. UGC, I love this one. However, user generated content. This is when you make content and you sell it to a company with like usage rights. This is fully active. So if I want to make money from UGC, the pro is like I set my rate, I have a rate card. I can pick who I want to work with, how many deliverables, like videos. Most of the time it's like stuff for TikTok or Reels. Occasionally it's photos. But this is like content creator mode. So if you love creating content, but you don't want to post it on your own platform, this is probably for you, because you don't post the stuff that you're creating. You sell it to the company and they do whatever they want with it. The con for this is like if I'm not pitching them, so you have to send a lot of emails at first to get some response, and hopefully they respond. And then they say yes, and you negotiate back and forth. So that's like its whole thing in and of itself. But if you don't pitch and then create deliverables, you don't get paid. So that's a big con for me. So you're still exchanging hours for dollars, which is something that I try and like get away from. And the other big con is like you have to have legal paperwork to protect yourself, because these companies that you're selling your content to, like they don't care about you. So they will take every like loophole and advantage that they can if you do not use legally binding contracts and lay out your terms. So if you're going to get into that, like I'm not saying this is scary because it's totally doable. And I like the creative outlet every now and again. Less now to kids than I used to, but it's fun. You need to CYA. Okay. And then we get to MLMs. This is like the one that usually everyone makes a face when they see this. And I think there's so much good, and there's also like a lot of cringy too. So we're talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, like all of it. So the good, I think there are some fantastic products in the multi-level marketing industries, like so good. I also really am a huge fan of supporting like small business owners and like moms who are just doing their best and trying, try things. However, the cringe is really, it comes down to the model. Okay. I call it an accordion model. A lot of people refer to MLMs as a pyramid. That's not true. That's not a thing. So let's set this straight. What an accordion model is, or like why I call it this is going to be like recruiting based income. And if you say that, some people are like, oh no, like you don't have to recruit. But like honestly, to make the thousands of dollars, yes, you do. And what happens is, and I have done an MLM in the past, okay? So what you do is you're like, you're pitching your friend or whoever, you're like, you really want to join, and here's like, or the wholesale model price, and you'll get a discount on it. So you're basically incentivizing people to join the company to consume product at a lesser amount. And oh yeah, you can make more money if you get your friends to join. So say like maybe I recruit Susie and Susie goes out and recruits Wendy. And Wendy's like, okay, great. Like I'm gonna, earn what I spend back. And so then she's gonna recruit Brandy. What happens when Brandy can't go out and recruit anybody? Well, she quits. And then Wendy's like, I can't keep spending money and not making it. And so then Wendy quits and it starts to collapse. So then it's just like me and Susie. And Susie's like, dude, I'm not making any more money. Like, I love the products, but like, it's not worth my time. I'm out. And so then there's me. Okay. And it just kind of like folds in because it's this internal consumption model where like people are really joining and consuming the product. And when they quit joining and quit consuming, like you're left with nothing. And the other big problem is, and this is not like for everyone. So if you're in an MLM, I'm not bashing because I've had some great experiences and some not so great experiences. But a lot of people who are money hungry are just all about the recruiting because they make a certain amount off of like your package or whatever that you're going to buy, and then they'll ghost you. And like, that's just how it is. They're not in it to try and help you because they made the money that they're going to make, or either they're helping you with a means of like trying to make like more money. Okay. So this is all like a sustainability concern to me. It's not a very stable company if most of your products are being used like from the inside. You want real customers coming from the outside, consuming your products. Some other things to think about is like products, are they consumable? Do I have to keep an inventory? I was talking to a girl who did like Mary Kay, which I'm familiar with, but have never done. And they have to keep like a certain amount of inventory. That's a lot of makeup for a non-makeup girly. Like that feels overwhelming to me. Um, Consumable, the quality of the product. Do you feel aligned with it? Like, are you excited about this product? And then what are the fees like? Do you have to do a certain amount monthly? Are there penalties if you don't? What are the commissions percentages? Like the qualifications for receiving your commissions, like all of the things. So these are just things to think about. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Like this is just my outside perspective, having been there, done that. Think about it. Okay. Next, we have digital marketing. This one has really, really taken off over the last, I would say, year and a half. Digital marketing, here's what it is and here's what it's not. Digital marketing literally just means selling any product online on the internet. But when people are talking about this, more specifically, they're talking about having listed a course or a product online, like an ebook, and you can buy it. Okay. So I actually like this option if you have something of value to put in a course. Okay. Because we know there are only so many hours in a day. You can only be so many things to so many people. And so if you were really like packing in value into these courses or these ebooks, girl, do it. Like you can post it, have it a link there. You can market it if you want to, whatever you want to do with it. It's your intellectual property. And the good thing is like if you're constantly providing value, people will want that. So that would be like the marketing strategy is provide so much value that it makes sense that you would pack all that value into one place in like a course or a book that they could get from you. Okay. The con for me is that it's like a one and done. If they're buying like everything that you have to offer, are they going to come back? No, they don't have to rebuy it. So you would either have to make another course or like be done, try and grow your audience to reach more people. The other big con is like also like legal. You need you need something protecting you again because people will and can like steal your work, say it's theirs, and try and profit off of it. Then you have this whole like subsection of master resale rights. What this is it is buying a course, and technically like you own rights to resell the same course at 100% profit. So it's basically creating a ripple effect. And like the draw for people is like, oh, you can sell one course and make all of your money back. That's true. I have never done master resale rights, so I don't know what's in the courses. Um, the price varies from $1 to like thousands of dollars per course. And what my big problem is, sometimes I've seen people try and like scale it up. So they'll be like, oh, you can start by $1. And then, oh, now we got to do $3,000. They'll try and like gradually implement it for you to get access to more and more and more. And then when you're selling it, you're selling the course that you took. So if I were going to resell it, I would want to make sure that I actually got a lot of value, because you're putting your name behind this, right? You can also do a faceless account, which I think is like very appealing to a lot of people who don't want their faces out there and like talking about this stuff. Same thing applies. Like you would have to market it, do, the traction, but the idea would be like you have a reel out or post out and it keeps getting like looped around. People see it, they come to your page, they buy your stuff. Okay. This is digital marketing. So, and most people do it through Stand Store. I have done it two ways. I've done it to where like one completely flopped just because I didn't do market research and I didn't understand, like people didn't actually want that product. And then I've had one that's done pretty good. So to me, this all comes down to value. Like, what are you offering of value to people? And you have to be willing to sink in a decent amount of time if you're creating your own product to get something of value together in one place. So this would be the active side, and then the passive would be like once it's done, it's done. Okay. So this is digital marketing. So we've covered a lot here. Let's review really quickly before I share one last thing. And the last thing I'm going to share is honestly like the breadwinner for me and my family, and I'll share with you why. But just so you can kind of see, like I pulled it back to like third grade math class. Yeah, the Venn diagrams. So the main themes here is that a lot of them require followers or recruiting, and constant like content creation or like creating a funnel to get more people to go to that link. Okay. And then the other piece is like maybe you're not going to get to recapture your customers. Like they use your code once and like you're done. So you're not going to get returning profits on that unless, or maybe not even if, they're using your specific link. Okay. So there are pros and cons to all of these. And I think the biggest thing is if you're just getting started in this space and you're already feeling a little bit overwhelmed, it's like, man, I don't have that many followers. Like, I don't have the capacity to constantly be thinking about creating reels and content. Like, I don't have a big enough market, so if only 100 people out of my 500 followers buy from me, which is a pretty high percentage, less than 20%, if only 100 people buy from me and I'm not going to get returning commissions on those 100 people, I can't quit my job from that, like I can't stay home with my babies from that. So these are all just like little trickles of income, which can turn big. I'm not saying they can't, but like I'm talking about to the beginner, like just getting started. You need money now. You don't need to wait like 30 to 60 to 90 days for a payout. You don't have the time or capacity to create all of this content. I don't know, honestly, if any of these things are great options. Like, okay, you do your own research. I'm happy to talk about any of them more, my experience with them. So here is the next one is going to be social retail. Okay. And I'm going to share with you a lot of reasons why I got started with this and why I think it was so successful. This is why my husband and I still do this as our main income. Absolutely love it because I am 1,000% convinced. I know because I've helped hundreds of people do it. Anyone can win here. Okay. No matter your following number or your ability to create content or not. And here's why. Couple things. This is 2 slides. So number 1 is leveraged income. So as opposed to affiliate marketing, where it's all dependent upon me sharing and me creating my funnels, and everything's based on my efforts. With social retail, actually, my customers are incentivized to share for me. Like, this should blow your mind if you're thinking about the difference between this and affiliate marketing. Because say you have 500 followers or 500 friends on Facebook, like I feel like that's a pretty good average. Okay, statistically, 1 in 10 will say yes to you. And this is like old statistics. I actually think it's less than that now just because people are inundated on all sides with like stuff on social media. But if that happens and like 1 in 10 say yes, so you got 50 customers. Those 50 customers, and maybe let's even take it down. Maybe let's say you got 5 customers, okay? You have your 5 best friends, and they end up trying a product that you shared with them, obsessed with it, and they can't stop talking about it. My grandma actually shares for me. She shares collagen regularly because it's really helped her with arthritis and the swelling in her knees. And so when she shares that with, a lady at church, and she wants to know where can she get it, then my grandma's like, oh, my grandma actually had me send her a code, but I can use my grandma's code. Or if she's very savvy, there's an app, they just like share the code. And guess what happens? Grandma gets product credit for sharing. And she's so excited about that because it's going to help her get free collagen. That's her incentive. She doesn't want to make money. Well, then her friend orders. And guess who gets commission from her friend? I do. Like, this is leveraged income. I'm not having to work for every single sale. I don't have to depend on my whole network for every sale. I just expanded my network by my 5 friends, and however many friends they have, now that's my network because they're seeing this stuff and I can get paid on that. And this ripples out infinitely. Like, as many people out. So say my grandma's friend shares it with her hair girl, who shares with her daughter, who shares with her, whatever. It keeps going, and like daily payments, you see this just keeps rolling in because I don't have to work for it on my own socials. Okay. The other really big thing, and I was really picky about this before I even considered social retail, was am I required to recruit people? Because at, that point in my life, and even still now, it's the first time I've done this in 2 years, I didn't want to be like the coach. Okay. I was more about just sharing stuff that I loved. I didn't want that on me. I was coming from an MLM background where it felt ick and, cold messaging and everything. Didn't like that. And so I wanted to have the option. This gives you the option. Okay. The next thing is consumable products. It's here. That's great. But when someone uses it up, they're going to come back for more. Hopefully, right? They love it. I get lifetime commissions from each customer that I earned, even from like grandma's friend. Lifetime. As much as they come back and reorder and I'm still here doing this, I'm getting commissions. So they don't have to even find my code. They don't have to use my coupon code. They don't have to find my link tree, whatever. They just log on to the regular website and place their order like a normal person would, like buying stuff online. And I automatically get paid from this. Like, this is so passive, it's insane. The next thing, and this is like what sealed the deal for me, this top one, is the double daily pay, because I didn't have to wait to get paid commissions. I get paid commissions every single day, up to 2 times a day. So morning and evening, those commissions are going off. This is a huge deal because this really makes me so sad. We live in a country and an economy right now where 25% of people, 25, 1 in 4 Americans are skipping meals right now because of the cost of groceries. Like, you guys, we're doing our best to make it from paycheck to paycheck. I started this with like less than $3 to my name. I couldn't get out of a parking garage. I needed money now. And so, like, this is what sealed the deal because I'm a hustler. And so I'm like, okay, if I know I can go make money, I'm going to make money. And this is the next thing is like, it's high commission. So it doesn't start at 2%, 3%, 4%, whatever. It starts at 10% and it's going up to 36% commissions. And then they're going to stack bonuses on top of it. And so when it starts to snowball and you're getting all these payouts and you're getting all these bonuses every single day, yeah, that is actually a decent amount of income. That's not $15 here, $30 there. Like, this is stuff that you can pay bills with. And so when I started to see the power of this, I was like, wow. And then there are no minimums, no inventory that you have to keep, no penalties. If you like walk away for 2 or 3 months, life happens, and then you come back, like, you can do that. They're not gonna, keep charging you forever and ever and get you a bunch of stuff that you don't need. And then the last thing, which I think makes it so easy for anybody to get started, is like the post and profit system, which means there are done for you posts, there are done for you captions. I personally walk through with people and will do a social media audit for you because I don't think that, like, if I'm helping Paul build a business, Paul does not post like me. He does not talk like me. He should not be talking like me. Okay, so we want to make it customized for him. And I can walk through and give him an audit and give him things specifically to post on his wall that are going to give him traction and get him customers and have this like mentorship to where it's customized. But he's not having to do all the work of thinking of captions, of making reels, like learning how to do all of this. Like, it's done. He can post it, we can tweak it, and go. And then, there is that one-on-one mentorship aspect. There's community, there's free trainings. Instead of having to self-train yourself on like all of the things that I talked about, like I've done, like, you can just show up and people teach you how to do this. Like, this is the easiest business as far as getting it off the ground because everything's here and like the money is just sitting there waiting for you. Okay. So you can actually get started. I've put for as little as $150 because income transparency. So $49 is going to set up your account. That's great. 49 bucks. You have a back office, you have a link you can share with people, you can get paid from it. But to be qualified to receive your commissions, you can do one or two things, okay? Either you can personally generate new customer income equivalent to about $150, $160 every single month, and that qualifies you to receive commissions. So no, you technically don't even have to personally order. Or you can personally use the product, which I'm a fan of. And that's what I do because authenticity. And $75, $80 a month. That's going to get you qualified to receive your commissions. If you're like, gosh, I don't have $80 for next month. Okay, well, like, we'll get you new customers. Or if you need to skip a month, you skip a month. Like, again, no penalties, like no minimums, no inventories. It is the most flexible thing. And so that's really, at the end of the day, why I ended up saying yes was because, okay, if this doesn't work, I can get my money back. Like, I remember telling Paul this, like, okay, if it doesn't work, no big deal. But I think that it will because it's telling me that I can get paid daily. And so immediately like jumped in. and started paying grocery bills and started paying our car note. And like, this is not something that you have to do full time. You can casually share just like you would affiliate marketing, or you can build funnels, or you can like go headlong into it. It's whatever you want to do. So these are, I think I've covered all of the main ways to make money online, right? So what's next? Just freaking start something. Like, don't watch this webinar and be like, oh, that's great. I've learned so much. Okay. And nothing changes. Like, you're on this webinar for a reason. Maybe you are the 1 in 4 that has to skip meals because you're trying to make it to the next paycheck. Maybe you're the mom that has to say no to the water park and no to the movies this summer because you're on such a strict budget. Maybe you haven't been on a vacation in years because, money. Maybe you literally hate your job and you just would love to quit working overtime. That's it. Like, you're not looking to quit your job. You just want to quit working overtime. Like, there are so many options, guys. And if you want to do what Paul and I have done, and, this ends up turning into something that you never saw coming, and you have the option, well, then now you get the option to do what brings you joy. And so for like Paul and I, we've gotten into the holistic health practitioner space. That's what we love. That's what fuels our passion. We could not do that if we didn't have passive income, like, things coming in where we're not having to spend hours every day. And so I'm sharing with you because I just want you guys to know, like, there are so many options, but you have got to start something. And so if social retail, if that's the one that you landed on, you're like, yes, that does seem like it's the easiest to get off the ground. Like, I want to get it going. Like, send me a DM, send me a text. Like, let's talk. I'm happy to just, talk any specific questions that you guys have. If it's any of the other things, like, and you don't know, YouTube it, Google it, send me a DM, send me a text. Like, I'm happy to talk with you more about that. But you'll never know if you don't start. So I'm going to cap it here. Thanks so much for being on tonight, guys. I appreciate your time so much. I hope you got value out of all of this, and we'll see you soon.